Hello guys, today's video will be about calorie counting. I was actually very surprised over time to find out that almost no one counts calories and almost everyone disregards the use of it.
Whoa, this is some serious shit.
Okay, so let's start off by talking about beginners in the gym. Does a beginner have to count his calories? In my opinion, not really. The first 6 to 12 months, if you go to the gym, you can literally look at a weight and you'll gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. It's literally like being on steroids. The first 6 to 12 months in the gym, you should just spend on learning proper exercises with proper form, going to the gym consistently, and just cleaning up your overall diet. So less processed food, less sodium intake, more healthy whole foods, and more cooking at home. Also, you really don't want to take too much on your plate the first 6 to 12 months because that will heavily increase the odds of you actually giving up on the gym altogether. It needs to be a fun process and it needs to be something that you ease into, something that you learn over time how to do. So you learn how to do your exercises, what exercises to do, how much weight, how much can I actually lift, how much can I add here and there. It really doesn't matter much what you're doing in the gym, as long as you're going and you try to lift heavy and with correct form. Now we move on to the intermediate / experienced lifter. I would be so rich if I would get $1 for every single time I've had to hear this. Yeah, bro, I've been eating food for a long time. And I don't really need to count the calories. I know how much I'm eating, bro. Like, I just look at the plate and I'm like, yeah, there's probably like 1,000 calories, you know? I would bet my entire fortune on it that almost none of you would be able to get within a few calories of a full meal and doing that consistently by just guesstimating. Your body is a machine and a machine needs proper fuel. How do you know you put enough fuel into your body to go after the goal that you're trying to reach if you're not tracking how much you're putting into your body? Estimating your calories is extremely hard. Every single time you guess something, you are going to be off by 50 to 100 calories at least, guaranteed. And when I say 50 to 100 calories, I mean for everything. You know how hard it is to tell the difference between 120 grams of rice or 150 grams of rice or 150 grams of rice and 180 grams of rice? That 30-gram difference, that's 100 calories. And then, for example, chicken breast. Chicken breast on average is about 200 grams, but sometimes you get them with a little less, like 160, 170. Sometimes they are going to be like 220. All these small mistakes in your estimates end up being a very large number at the end of the day, especially if you're going to be bulking and you need to eat a lot of meals in order to get there. Let's say that you're eating 5 to 6 meals per day, and each of them is about 800, 900 calories. And let's say that during the entire day, you're guesstimating that your 800 meals are actually 700 calorie meals. This means you can easily eat 500 too little, or maybe you're overestimating and then you're eating 500 too much. Or maybe you're trying to bulk, but you're eating at maintenance and you feel like, oh, I'm very full. Like, I have this feeling all the time. Personally, I need to eat a lot of food in order to gain weight. So I usually get to a point where I'm already full, but I have to eat more. And if you're not going to be counting and your brain tells you you're full, then you're probably going to be like, well, yeah, probably it's enough. And then you figure out that the scale is not going up. Why? Because you're not counting. So you can try to bulk and then maybe today you're eating 500 too little or you're eating maintenance. Congratulations. What happened was during that one day where you ate too little, you actually lost a little bit of fat and you didn't feed your body the proper fuel in order to build muscle. If you're eating at maintenance and you're not a beginner, you're basically going to the gym for nothing, you're just maintaining. If you were able to eat about 300 to 500 calories over maintenance, congratulations, today you were lucky enough to guesstimate right.
Good job.
But hey, maybe you end up eating 800 calories too much. And then all of a sudden you accumulate a lot of water weight and fat for no good reason. Let's not talk about calories for a little bit, but let's talk about your macros. Let's talk about protein specifically. Protein is something you need in order to recover from your workouts and in order to build muscle or in order to maintain it after breaking down the muscle. If you estimate your protein too low, you will not get the muscle gain that you're after, or you might actually end up losing muscle if you're in a deep deficit while also eating too little protein. So then you're basically screwing up your progress in the gym. And if you end up eating too much protein, you're screwing up your wallet because protein is the most expensive thing that's going to be landing on your plate. How to get started? First off, you buy a food scale and then every single thing that you're about to eat, you weigh on the scale before cooking it. Then you can either install a tracking app and grab the item and put it in the app with the amount of grams and everything. I personally am not a big fan of using tracking apps because they usually limit you to certain brands and whatnot. But if you don't want to do the work of learning all the calories of all the foods that you're about to eat, then this is a good start. This also allows you to look back at what you've been eating last week, last month, and many months ago. The second option is that you go on a website and that you figure out how many calories is in there per 100 grams if you're not from the US. Over time, you will notice that you will start to remember all of these items that you eat often. I personally nowadays don't have to look up anything anymore other than the items that I'm not used to eating. For example, I now know that a medium egg is 70 calories and 8 grams of protein. If you remove the egg yolk, it turns into 16 calories and 4 grams of protein. Rice, I usually eat about 150 grams a day, which is about 540, 550 calories. I can go on and on and on, but I've been calorie counting for 9 years now. So for me, I usually know exactly how many calories per 100 grams. So basically all that I do is my girl cooks and tells me exactly how much she put in there from every ingredient, and then I convert it into calories and whatnot and write it down. And I keep a list, maybe I'll add it into this video by the way, like some list of how I'm keeping up with all my calories, my daily workouts, how I track my weight and whatnot. But really over time you start to become very familiar with all of these items, and it really becomes like a very easy thing to do, and we just do it on autopilot nowadays. In the end, it really makes sense to do this because you can get stuck for years not making any progress, and with the only reason being that you're not eating the sufficient amount of nutrients in order to build. Save yourself potential years of non-progress and just start calorie counting as soon as you're comfortable with being in the gym. One downside is that you are gonna have to cook your own meals in order to do this efficiently, or you need to only start ordering from restaurants that disclose the amount of calories, protein and whatnot that's in the meal. Thank you guys. Please subscribe. Much more to come.